Hey guys, welcome back to City Skylines Mahigan, episode 15, the high school. So I know it's been a while since I posted anything. It's been a couple weeks, I believe, and I'm a little bummed about that, but life just kind of got in the way. Well, between COVID and just work and school starting back up, I've been busy. But the good news is this week I'm going to get 2 posts up, and that's because I had a lot of material recorded, and some of it just didn't fit with the theme of this episode. It didn't flow very well, so I just made a bonus episode. It's really small, not much is going to go on it. It'll be about a 5-6 minute episode, but you should still check it out. I built a park, a church, and a elementary school. So today we're going to be working inside that blue triangle you see on your screen there. I allocated this spot specifically for the high school because it's in the suburban residential area, which a lot of high schools are, but it's close to main roads. It's actually alongside those 2 main roads right there, and it makes a nice triangle, which I think is a cool looking thing. I really like the how it breaks it up. It makes it not so square, because I feel like Artus is becoming fairly square, so I wanted to break that up. So I started by leveling out the ground, and I've been struggling with the terrain of Artus. It's been a kind of a challenge. I didn't realize how hilly this map was in this section, and I didn't want to do what I typically do in City Skylines, or what I've done in the past, where I just flatten everything out and just build on top of that. I wanted to actually incorporate some of the hills to give it, to make it realistic, give it a nice look and feel. But the problem with that is when you try to put a parking lot road on hills, it tears. Like, you can see those tears between everything, so you have to flatten things out, use and move it, and all that kind of stuff. But I believe the end result is very nice. I love the uniqueness of it. I think it turns out great. The high school we used, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. I don't think I did. The high school we used earlier is the Schaumburg High School up in Schaumburg, Illinois. Use it as the main influence for this, and you'll probably see the end results of this kind of lines up with it. I think looks pretty good. Different color schemes though. Yeah, so we use the Schaumburg High School. I really like how they have their entrance. I like how they have their entrance to their main entry for their school, like that road right there. So I try to mimic that. It's just really hard because, like I said, with the elevations, those roads next to the parking lot are actually several meters above the parking lot. So the entrances to the parking lot, they get kind of wonky and quirky. So it took some manipulation, but I think I finally achieved a proper fit for everything. Mostly what I'm doing on the screen right now is just getting that parking lot lined up, and I use a technique like to make it look a little bit better. Like, you'll see those gray clips that typically you can fix with the clipping network, but what I do instead is, if it's too far away and it has a weird clipping problem with it, I'll actually take a filler road of the big parking lot. You'll see me do it in a second, and I'll just stretch it out and then move it to put it underneath the road, and it actually fixes it. It's a really nice trick that I learned to make things work. Hopefully you see me do it here in a second. I forget when I did it. Right there. You'll see I take it, move it, copy it, and I put it right underneath the parking spaces, because when you zoom out you'll see lines or clips that peek through the parking lot, and that just kind of fixes it for me. So while I was trying to detail this, I noticed I was having a problem with something called Z-fighting. You'll see it in the paths and you'll see it on the roadways. It's kind of hard to see when I'm close. It's when you zoom out. So those concrete pathways or concrete pedestrian paths I'm placing, they look really good up close, but then when I zoom out, you'll see the terrain, the grass start peeking through. That was caused by a mod I had installed. It was network skins, and I didn't realize it's pretty much out of date. I don't need it anymore. So I uninstalled it, and it really helped. You'll still see it in the recording because I had it at the time, but I've since taken it off, and it really helped. It also increased my FPS because my FPS was starting to kind of slow down. Not a whole lot. Like, I have a pretty good computer to run this. I forget my specs, but I was starting to finally notice a little bit of a lag, especially when I was opening the terrain tool. And I noticed on Reddit that was a common complaint they had, and it's typically just mods are either out of date or they're not compatible with everything else. So So I went through and removed some of the non-essential mods that I just forgot I even had installed. I got them so long ago, and I thought, I need these, but it turns out, no, I don't really need them anymore. And I honestly don't miss them. They're not needed, like I said. So not to beat a dead horse. Wow, I can't talk today. Not to beat a dead horse, but I do suggest, there's plenty of videos on YouTube, and I might make one of unessential mods that you no longer need. They're just out of date. There's better mods for them. I might make that video at some point in time, but there's plenty out there. So yeah, while I'm detailing this high school, I'm trying not to go overboard with it, and I also want to keep an open field, because if you look at a lot of high schools, they actually have a lot of grass, and so they have a lot of open grassy areas for the students to potentially lounge. Not that I ever did, but yeah, they typically have a lot of bushes up in front of the building and then grass out in the front courtyard area, which, by the way, I love those grass decals. They look awesome. They kind of have a problem of they'll disappear once in a while from different camera angles, so you win some, you lose some with them, but I like the way they look. So then I go around and I just start popping these decals to make things look nice and tidy, and try to make things look good without going overboard with the detail work, because like I said, I'm not looking to be ultra detailed with this series by any means, because I mean, I could sit there and do it all day, but then nothing will get done, and I don't have a lot of time to play this game and then edit my videos and get it posted, because I'm not that great at video editing, if you couldn't tell. I kind of just get the job done and go about my day. So please forgive me, I'm not a professional video editor. My ultimate goal is people see this and just get ideas for their own cities, which hopefully I'm doing. Some of you leave really nice feedback. I enjoy it. So yeah, and my Instagram that I'll put in the comments down below, or the description down below, not comments. I guess I could leave it in the comments, but it won't do much good. Who reads YouTube comments? So yeah, the Instagram, I'm actually getting some followers, so thank you to anybody who's following me on that. That's pretty awesome of you. You probably noticed a change in textures. Halfway through recording this, I started playing with my theme mixer, because I just wasn't liking how the concrete looked. And I started playing with the theme mixer, and I got a concrete that I like the look of. To me, that looks more realistic. I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. If you don't like that concrete, let me know your opinions on it. I like it, so it'll probably stay, but if you have a theme for concrete that you use and like, let me know, because I'm always open to suggestions. So we're starting our work on the high school sports facilities here, and we start off with that football and the track and field option there. That gets changed later to a multifunctional field that can service multiple sports and events. It looks a lot better. The main reason that occurred is the soccer fields I had. I didn't like the look of them. It's not that there was something wrong with the assets. They're still great assets and they'll probably get used later, but they didn't fit the theme for the high school. And then I sat there and thought about it. I'm like, well, most high school nowadays are going to those multi-purpose fields to save money, and space is a premium most of the time. In these bigger high schools, they only have so much land to work with, so they're going to put everything they can onto a certain field. So the soccer, the field events for track and field occur there. Multiple events would occur on that field there. We also add the softball and the baseball fields, and they look really good. I love those assets, like the cage around home plate right there. The backstop looks awesome. Here's that field I was talking about, and you can see how it's a multifunctional field. You can see the boxes for soccer, the goalposts are still there for the football. There's the track. You have a high jump pit over there, so it looks awesome. There's the logo for the Artus. They're going to end up being the Artus Huskies. So that's a pretty common high school mascot, the Huskies, and I like it. And the color schemes work really, really good for Mahigan. I've been doing a lot of blues and whites, and I like that theme. So it's probably going to stick. So here we begin work on the entrance to the high school lot. This took me a while because it was a lot of tinkering off screen for you to look right. And the biggest reason was the height difference between the parking lot and that road that's connected to. It doesn't look like it on your screen, but there's a pretty significant height difference. We're talking probably about 5 meters, which is a lot in this game. So it took me a while. I had to raise some things and adjust some things, but it turns out really nice. What really helped was this intersection marking tool. It makes it look awesome. You probably noticed while I'm flying around, the Z fighting we talked about earlier on those paths, it doesn't do that in the final product. It's just it got caught in the recording. So like I said, if you have some unessential mods that you don't need, I would suggest getting rid of them. There's a lot of unessential stuff. Like network skins now can be replaced by network skins 2 or any of the amazing road mods and stuff that's on the workshop. Because mods will be what break your game before assets ever will. So here we make a crosswalk that, I don't know why, I'm just really happy with that crosswalk, the way it turns out. I think it looks really cool. It took me a minute to get it done, but I thought the end result was pretty cool. So we're gonna be wrapping this episode up by putting in the tennis courts, and they're coming at the end because I completely forgot until I started video editing that I completely forgot to put in the tennis courts. I don't know why I did that, but it completely slipped my mind. So I'm sorry to the Artus tennis team. So sorry guys, but you're there now. So with the episode wrapping up, I want to say thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you saw, please remember to leave a like and or subscribe. If you've been following the channel for a little bit, you know that you know what happens when we hit 100 subscribers. I get my wife on here to build something. It sounds like she's leaning towards building a park, and she's told me the idea she has for this park, and I'm a little nervous. I never imagined that Mahigan would have what this park is going to have in it. So if you want to see that, you're going to have to get people to subscribe. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. And remember, there is a bonus episode coming out. It's not going to have much commentary, but it's still coming out right after this video. So thanks again, and you guys have a good 2020. See you next time.